Hey, what's up guys? What I'm bringing you here today, it's a PVE Deadeye build to do incursions and legendaries missions. Bear in mind, this build it's not yet maxed out. I just did it a couple minutes ago. I'm still trying to max out, but by the meantime it may help you out to build something like this, but try to max out. So with no further delay, let's get into my build. So for my chest piece I'm using a Reckless with firearms, and bear in mind this is purely PVE. So what I'm using for the major attribute, it's 6% enemy armor damage. I would prefer to have health on it, but I didn't find one, so I got skill haste and ammo capacity. For my mods, I use a stamina purple mods with 4% damage to elite. Well, it was just a shame because I missed out a couple weeks ago. That was for sale, some purple firearm mods with damage to elite, but it is what it is. I managed to buy last week this stamina and damage to elite. So moving on to my mask, firearms on it, again enemy armor damage and 12% damage to elite. For my mods, I use a prototype firearm mod with health on it. For my knee pads, I'm using a stamina, the low one, and I will show you in a minute why I got stamina on this one. So major attributes, critical hit damage, and again 16% damage to elite. So moving to my backpack, firearms with 7% critical hit damage and bleed resistance. Well, this bleed resistance is pretty good, because you know some of the incursions the NPC shoot you with assault rifles and make you bleed like hell, so it's good to have some bleed resistance. So for my gloves, I'm using these Savage gloves. Sadly they low firearms. I'm trying to get a better ones, but by the meantime I'm using these ones with marksman rifle damage, 6.5% enemy armor damage and 16% critical hit damage. For my holster, it's a firearms holster with reload speed, and for the performance mod I use a first aid self-heal. On my backpack I use a firearm with skill haste. Well, I couldn't find, I don't have any firearms with health. I wish I had, but by the meantime I need to use this one. Skill haste is not as much as important on this one because it's a PVE. For my prototype performance mods, 5.5 first aid self-heal, 2 of them. And on my knee pads, I forgot to tell, the performance mod, I use a 2% critical hit damage. I would like to use 2, but I only have 1 at the moment. So for my weapons, I use this M700 carbon with destructive, deadly, and elevated. I wish I had ferocious, but I think elevated is pretty good too, because it's not hard to be 1.2 meters above your target. So going back to my knee pads, the reason I have stamina on this ones is because I need stamina, enough stamina to unlock the destructive, because it needs 3832 stamina, and that's the kind of talent you need for PvE. It's destructive and deadly. Both of them, they are a must to use on your weapons, and ferocious of course, but I don't have it on these weapons. And you need to stack almost everything on critically damage. So for my scope, I got a C79 scope, critically damage, headshot damage, and accuracy. I wish I had like an extended magazine, but at the moment I'm using this one with critically chance, critically damage, and rate of fire. For my grip, it's a 90% critically damage, accuracy, and stability. And for my muzzle, I use 90% critically damage, 3% critically chance, and optimal range. So, as for my SVD, again a C79 scope with critically damage, stability, and accuracy. On this one, I'm using extended magazine with critically chance and rate of fire. For my grip, 90% critically damage, 2.5 stability, and optimal range. For my muzzle, 18% critically damage, 2.5 stability, and 3% critically chance. So, sorry. So going back to my talents, well, for my skills I use this tactical scanner. And I use my booster shot. For the talents, I use triage. Triage is good. Well, as this build is a PvE, it's good because you're gonna be in a group. So triage is pretty good to use. Critically save, of course. Evasive action, because you're gonna be doing a lot of cover to cover with this sniper build. And steady hands, that's pretty good talent for this, especially when you use the SVD because of the recoil. This gives you reducing recoil by 25% for 10 seconds. So as I showed you my build, let's do a bit of gameplay action here on Lexington, just to show you how this build is going. Bear in mind, it's not yet maxed out.
She's the one who organized the escape to Manhattan.
I'm going to use my 700 carbon
of
now.
my people there. If you can get them out before blowing the lid off, I'd be
looks
great.
like there's no one here.
All right, get them out first, but don't jeopardize the mission. We're going in on your heels. The jailbreak ends here. This is about taking the Rikers out at the knees. So there's no one who can replace Lorraine Barrett.
You're gonna see
She's the one who organized the escape to Manhattan.
steady hands are going to kick in.
3 of my people there.
There he is.
If you can get them out before blowing the lid off,
Go.
I'd be great.
All right, get them out first,
Boom.
but don't jeopardize the mission. We're going in on your heels. The jailbreak ends here.
Now going back to my SVD. And I didn't even put my pulse. Here he goes.
Here we go.
Boom. Well, and it's not yet maxed out, like I said. but I could show a little bit of it. So I hope you did like it and enjoy it, and if you find that was useful for you, just drop us a like and subscribe to my channel if you're not yet, and I'll see you next time.